What is happening? What?
It works! As you know, I am building the Bricks Gallery for Makers in Los Angeles right now. This is also my shop and it's kind of a work in progress. And I think we made some really good first steps. We have an offline store. We now have a coffee machine. But the most important thing is missing. The most important thing when you want to create a space where people feel good, where people gather, that has like a fun and easy vibe. And that is music, lights, and a fog machine. So let's go to work. For what I have in mind, I can use the leftovers from our very first janitor project, the bottom of a shopping cart. This will be perfect as a base to build this little DJ music light setup. And I'm very excited not only because this thing was in my way for the last couple weeks, also because it's metal and that means I finally get to weld. I haven't done a lot of welding since I moved to the new shop, and this is finally an excuse to set up all my things and to get to welding. Ever since I had workshops, it was not only a space for me to work, but also for my friends to hang out and to have a good time. Even in my very, very first shop, we had 1st of May parties, we had New Year's Eve parties, everybody celebrated their birthday there. It was always a place for community. So I kind of developed this system on how a place needs to be set up. And I want my LA workshop to be just that. And I think there's always ways to go overboard and have like a stage and crazy light, but this is not in the budget right now. So I'm going with the simplest, still pretty effective approach. And I learned 3 things are very important. One is loud music. If people want to dance, the music needs to be loud. And then, I don't know if you know this, but I used to DJ when I was in design school. So I always have a thing about somebody needs to curate the music. And then I found that little cheap things like a cheap fog machine, a cheap strobe light, that's enough to just be the starter pistol for a party. So working on this little thing is kind of working for future gatherings, working for my gallery, not to be, you know, a stiff, like arty-farty place, but a space for community where people are supposed to dance if they want to. This makes me really, really happy. I think it's a necessary thing, and I think it's also an overdue thing. This place should be fun. These kind of projects are so fun to me because one, this is pure improvisation. I just go with the flow. I kind of know what I need, but the real project only becomes clear to me as I go along and as I finish it. And I just love the playfulness of this. The shitty light, the cheap fog machine, this just reminds me to be silly and to be playful, to have fun with my things. Not everything needs to be an elaborate design object. Like this is just a shitty fog machine that I built into an old rusty box and it has a cool button and that's enough. That is so fun. Nice. Let's test the sound. That's the most important thing. And then we test all the gimmicks. Okay, computer sits here, perfect angle. This comes out so I can see everything. We load our track. Let's play it. Okay, so the whole idea is when it's just me in the shop, I want to listen to some music. I don't even have these speakers. It's just what the deck has. Like that's loud enough for I want to have a radio on. But now if we have a meetup or a gallery show or whatever, and I kind of feel like this could keep going. We could, like, the vibe is good. And if that's not enough, I have a couple more tricks up my sleeve. Watch out. We need nicer lighting for a gallery setup anyway, so maybe it's gonna be something like that. It has a little delay. Yeah? I mean, it's a little cheap, but we could definitely improve this. But for now, it is better than nothing. And then, if people start to dance, we have a little fog. And then when stuff gets really wild, we bring out the strobe light. Yeah? Those are the different levels of entertainment we can offer at Briggs Gallery. I think this is so fun because, again, like if the opportunity for a party or a fun get-together is there, there's nothing worse than going, oh wait, let me get my DJ thing. Oh wait, where's the fog machine? And then it's ruined. So either you're ready or you're not. And this is just a curation of stuff that over the years I found are so fun and really changed the mood. It's just like a cheap 25 bucks fog machine. But if you're here with friends and you're in the mood for dancing, it makes all the difference. Just as much as this light. It's not about the quality or the value, it's just about having fun with it. And I think this is what this station is about. I'm sure it will be useful for me and my friends, for me just by myself to appreciate an old hobby that I haven't really tended to in a long time, and maybe even for a gallery show or for a make a meetup. I think this is gonna be useful. So I hope you enjoyed this video as much as I enjoy. Here you go. Let me know the name for this, and I'll see you next week with a new video. Bye. This week's sponsor is Bluetti, and it could not be a better fit because the product they sent me, the Elite 200 V2, is perfect. And I have to say, I feel a little bit bad because I only use this powerhouse to light 2 light bulbs while it is capable of so much more. They actually call it the king of endurance because the life expectancy is 17 plus years, and that means 6,000 plus charging cycles. And it has an insane amount of power in such a small body. It has 2 kilowatt hours in a body that, compared to the market, would only fit 1 kilowatt hours. And it has a maximum output of 2,800 watts, which means, yes, you can hook up tools. You can hook up household appliances. You can actually hook up 9 AC things at the same time and charge them simultaneously. And speaking of charging, this thing charges so fast. You can get it to 80% of its capacity in only 45 minutes. But now let's talk about the one thing that really, really matters if you take this thing camping or if you have it to power a tiny house, which is what I used to do with a different station. And that station was very powerful, but it was so loud that it would actually wake me up at night. With the Bluetti Elite 200 V2, this would not happen because it has a noise level of 16 decibel, which is nothing. On top of the 9 AC outlets, it also has 11 lower power outlets like USB and, you know, the cigarette thing from your car. It is a very, very, very useful companion, literally powering my project. If you're interested in purchasing one of the Bluetti Elite 200 V2, you can click the link in the description. I want to thank you guys for watching. I want to thank Bluetti for supporting my work and literally powering my project. And I will see you next week with a new video. Bye.